Hey Ringside crew. Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther the Third.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third. And man, today I have a young lady that, you know what, Ringside Show, I'm going to say this. This is my very first stand-up comedian that I've ever had on Dudes at Ringside podcast. This young lady is so killing it right now. Let's give a warm, and she loves wrestling, Dudes at Ringside welcome to my friend and yours, Gabby. Welcome.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, what made you become a professional wrestling fan?
Oh, man. Well, full disclosure, and you know this about me. So I have a lot of mental health disabilities, but one of which is bipolar disorder. And I've had it since I was a little girl. So I've had more energy than most people most of my life. And I've been very physical. So as a little kid, my dad started showing me wrestling and was like, hey, do you want to try some of these moves? And he and I would just, be wrestling each other all over the family room. And it was just a way for me to get my energy out, but in a constructive, fun way. And back, in the 80s with Junkyard Dog and Hulk Hogan and Roddy, it was so fun and very geared to kids. So I don't know, it was almost like a kids show for me, honestly, if I'm being honest.
So you love Mr. JYD. What was your favorite JYD moment that you remember as a kid or as a young adult?
So I remember, and I don't know if this was often, but I feel like they would do tag team wrestling, and he and Hulk would be a team. And that would be I would just go nuts for that. Cause to me, it was so my dad had, I don't know, he was, my dad was an Italian guy, and he just had more of a Junkyard Dog vibe than a Hulk Hogan. So I guess I identify with Junkyard Dog too. And I was like, that's my guy. But I just love that he was more wily, more I don't know, he was just lower to the ground. I just loved him. He just was truly
You
I
like
don't
that
know,
he thumped a lot. His
yeah.
thump
I
thump.
also I loved Andre the Giant too, but that was for just Princess Bride, and he was the sweet wrestler,
Yeah. And it's funny, his theme song always fit in for him, that thump, the thud,
Yes.
thud or whatever it was called. It's funny, his theme song could come on like you don't even realize it's a wrestling song. When you first hear it, you're like, it's a wrestling song?
He was so unique. Those guys though, they were they were next level. You know what I mean? That was it was like Mr.
you're gonna
Rogers, Pee Wee Herman, and wrestling. Those were the guys.
you're gonna laugh. You know who made all those theme songs back in that era? Wait
Who?
for it. I'm gonna brace yourself for this one. Um, everybody's least favorite manager, Jimmy Hart.
He was the theme song guy?
Jimmy Hart used to come up and create theme songs for people a lot.
That
He take his guitar out and he'll start jamming, and he'll come up with words and start singing. Came up with some of the words. If you hear the old wrestling songs, the words, that's Jimmy Hart.
that is
Jimmy Hart, Loud
wild.
Mouth to the South. That song by JYD. JYD may be rapping it, but he was either playing the guitar or he had some kind of word. He wrote the words to the songs.
That is really cool. I had no idea.
It's a
I'd love to write
CD.
theme songs for wrestlers. That'd be
Yeah,
so cool.
there's a thing in wrestling for everybody. There's a job the WWE had in the 90s and the 80s that everybody had. So that one person had that one job. I guess Jimmy Hart's job was to write wrestlers' theme songs. So with you being a stand-up comedian, how long does it take to write a either a joke or a set list, what you're gonna say during a show?
Yeah, for me, a lot of my stuff is so autobiographical that it kind of, it just sort of happens. Or for me, I'll just be telling stories to people, and if they're laughing hysterically, I'm like, oh, I guess this is a bit. And then I write it down and I put it in my repertoire. But because I because I've been dealing with so many different mental health stuff, I've had to like kind of do my own tract with comedy. So like a big part of comedy is like going to open mics and only getting like 2 minutes to work out material, and you're around a bunch of other comedians and they can be very negative and they can really bring down my mental state. So I had to do it more like an actress, or and sort of like write my material, rehearse it at home, almost like a monologue. I would practice on my mom, she would be my little open mic person, and that's how I would like work out my material. So I don't do it like in the traditional sense the way everybody else does, but that's just for me and like what I need to do to take care of myself.
Yeah, that's always like with you being a comic. Like, what areas would you say that the toughest crowd to like what is the toughest crowd? Is it like the big New York crowds or like the Pennsylvania crowds? Like, who are the hardest ones to make them laugh?
It's so interesting. I wouldn't even say it's like by area, because like, there have been times where I thought I was going into an area where maybe they wouldn't be kind to someone who talks about mental health, or maybe they were just, they just maybe wouldn't like who I am as a person. And it's always the opposite. I find a way to relate to somebody and connect to them like that. I do think that's my strength, is I can read a room, and I can, make my act go towards who I'm presenting to. But the only time I don't think I ever do well is if I'm on a bill and all the other comedians do a lot of blue humor, like a lot of sex jokes.
Mm,
I'm and only now that I've only been diagnosed as having autism for the last 8 months, but I've always had issues about that sort of stuff. I'm very prudish. I'm very childlike. I have a hard time going in that direction. So I
yeah.
don't fit in well there. And I get uncomfortable. I don't vibe with everybody. So I would say blue humor is the one area. If you're looking for a blue comic, I'm not your girl. I'm way
Mm,
more silly, and I'll talk about more heavy stuff, but I'm not, that's just not me.
mm.
I'm very childlike in that way, and I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's like I love watching stand-up comedy. Like I'm Bordy, so like I grew up watching the Comedy Centrals with like I don't know about you, but the Pablo Franciscos and the Dane Cooks and like you do you remember that on Comedy Central when they would have the comedy hour?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
They would show
Dane Cook.
like they would show like the little clips of like everybody's gig. So like if they had your gig, they would show like the gig, like a certain act you did, and then they would show like Pablo Francisco talking about the Webo splash, and then they would show Dane Cook talking about the Burger King, like uh, what do you think we do here? Oh, Burger King, get it your way, baby. And then the next gig will be like Eddie Murphy talking about, the girls over here, they're always singing they like this, but they like that, really, like, you know what I mean? Like, so who out of all the comics, we're going to do the top five,
Okay.
would be your, like, your reason you became like a stand up comedian?
That's a really good question. Well, I would say like truly a huge influence for me is Robin Williams. He just because he had so much energy, I didn't realize he was doing drugs, but as a little kid I was like, "Oh, he's a maniac like me. I relate to that guy." And he just was very also an actor, and I like, my background is in acting, so I really connected with him like first and foremost. Steve Martin, I would say, is also like a huge influence on me, because his book really helped me like not take stand up too seriously and really look at the silly and the absurd. And that's really like what I love. I love to just be a silly adult. Um, I'm a huge Lenny Bruce fan. I know that a lot of comedians are like, Lenny Bruce never said anything that was funny, but he sure did. And he also said a lot of really important stuff. And just from a mental health standpoint, like, I really relate to him and his soul and who he was as a person. Um, I really love Zach Galifianakis. I
Oh,
think
I love him.
he's so unique, so original. Like, if there was one person you're like, Gab, you could just spend the rest of your life opening up for this person, I would be like, please, please, dear God, let me open up for Zach Galifianakis. I just think he's brilliant. And then the fifth comedian I'm probably going to say, which is wild. I know you're probably like, I haven't picked any women, and I do love a lot of women comedians, but I'm just saying the people that have really like kind of, changed my life and I think influenced me the most. I as much as he didn't do stand up as much, but Martin Short, I have to say, I'm
Oh yeah.
very like Ed Grimley, all of his like what he did on like when he was on SNL, SCTV, like all those old clips, like and I do like I'm Katharine Hepburn, and he did Katharine Hepburn impersonations, and
He
I
is
just like
phenomenal.
he's my guy, I really and Only Murders in the Building is like my favorite show now, and it's just so I'd say
That
those
is a
two are.
good show.
Oh, I
Like,
love.
you're gonna laugh. In my house, well, I'm like raised on people like Dane and Pablo, and the one that's above of everybody else is the Bill Murray's, Bill Murray, and the one and only John Leguizamo. Like for
Oh,
me, John, because I saw him live twice. I saw him do a one man play,
wow,
and I saw him once do a one man play. I don't know if you would ever do this. John Leguizamo did an entire one man play, sick as a dog.
wow.
His nose was running the whole time. Like I'm like, man, here they go. This is a John Leguizamo thing, and he didn't even say it. Man, whoever's sitting in the front row, man, they need an umbrella because his nose is running. Like, man, you're getting infected as he's talking, and you're getting a little something, something, sheem sheem, a little
But it
sheem sheem for John Leguizamo. Mommy, look, I got a gift. I got the flu from John Leguizamo. Yay! The guys in the front row glasses are like covered in schmutz.
Oh my gosh. Which show was
Yeah,
it? Which one man show?
I saw Sexaholic and I saw
Oh,
Freak.
cool. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I saw Freak on HBO. Like I didn't see it
Oh,
live, but yeah,
when I
he's a
saw it,
genius.
and I saw I think it was Sexaholic or Freak. Um, we I went to see it for birthday or Christmas, my birthday or something like that, and it was so funny because my mom. That's why I still had hair and I looked like John Leguizamo. Went looking with the shirt. My mom's like, we were like halfway to the stage, so like the stage is here. The front rows are right here. So my mom's like, go sneak up to the front and go. So when the lights went off and you heard that boom, 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 I freaking darted up to the stage. The stage light went, and I had the stage. He came sliding on to bow and out like this, and he went and he bowed and then he pointed at me and I was like, "Jeez, my pants."
That is so amazing.
He's like my favorite actor. Like the movie that he hates. I'm like, that's like movie that everybody in my program borrowed from me about like 195 times that year. The
What
Pest,
movie?
The
Oh, The
Pest.
Pest. Yeah, that's a great movie.
His wife. If you remember from Sexaholic or Pest, I mean Sexaholic or the other movie, the other one, his wife made fun of it. His girlfriend made fun of the movie. Says that was the worst movie you ever did. That movie sucked. No, I'm wrong. She thought that one was a lowbrow, but then she gave Mario Brothers like a low blow.
Oh,
She made like Mario Brothers was the stupidest movie you ever did. You got beat up. You got lowbrow because you're not even Italian.
oh my God.
So let's go. Hold on, really quick. Got to change my glasses. Uh, hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me. It's me. It's Ghostbuster Joe. So I heard some news about you loving Ghostbusters,
I'm a
like
fan.
me and my fans.
Yeah.
This is Dudes at Ringside. How did we get on Dudes at Ringside? Oh, such a dork. So you love Ghostbusters. You heard you love Ghostbusters too.
I know, right? Like
So like I have no problem with Ghostbusters 2. The Stay Puft March, the Statue of Liberty coming down the street, Vigo, the baby getting dragged over by the oh my gosh, the hand and the river of slime. So like, what is your love of Ghostbusters 2? Let's talk
Oh
about
my yeah, I mean truly like I always joke like there's Godfather 2, there's Ghostbusters 2 and there's Toy Story 3. I think sequels are sometimes better than the original and in those three examples I go with it. Ghostbusters 2 I just love um I mean, from every part, from the very beginning of them being like out of work, and when Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd are doing children's birthday parties, because I perform at children's birthday parties, and every time I roll up to a party, I feel like I'm Ernie Hudson. I'm just like, I know what it's like to perform for 20
you're
kids at a
like,
birthday party.
here we go again.
Yeah, it's true. You're just like, all right. I mean, hey, I got to pay the bills, so let's go
And he's
perform
just
at this
like,
birthday
man,
party.
man.
But
It could
like,
be
I love all
worse.
the music, the Jackie Wilson music, so fun. I mean, that whole part with Egon, and he's like, doing the tests on the slime, and he's like, and they're like, "How close did you get, Egon?" And he's like, whatever. Like, he has intimate moments with the slime. Like, he kills me.
Oh,
I love the little
jeez.
baby Oscar. My little godson is named Oscar, so it's like,
You're named
um,
after a hot dog, you
yeah,
poor man, you poor man.
Bill
There's so
Murray's
many
so
one-liners in that
funny.
movie
Yes,
that makes you just like, as an adult, go, damn. Er, Howell Ramis is a genius, and the he it tears me up thinking we lost him so soon.
I know. The whole part with World of the Psychic,
Oh
when
God,
with
yes.
the one woman's like, an alien came to me in Paramus on, and he's like, Valentine's Day, bummer. When she
That is
says
like
the end of the
forever.
world.
Ghostbusters fans forever now
Yes.
are like, oh, Valentine's Day. Every time Valentine's Day, I'm like, I used to hit my old friend. I'm like, dude, Valentine's Day, bummer. He's like, you hate Valentine's Day because you don't have a girlfriend. No,
No, it's a line
Valentine's Day
from
stinks.
yeah.
World's gonna
No.
end.
Yeah,
Valentine's Day.
and that
Yeah.
actress was so good. I feel like she was in Twins too or something. She was a good actor. But I loved too
He's
with
like,
the security guy at the museum. And he's like, "Hey, World of Psychic. That's my favorite show. That and Bassmasters." And Bill
and
Murray's
then
like, "I know
yeah.
Bassmasters."
Did you
He's so
know
dry.
it's hilarious? There's like somewhere on the internet you could actually buy a Bassmasters t-shirt.
No, I need it. I need it. I have to have
Go on
Bassmasters
the
t-shirt.
GB. There's like one of the Ghostbusters pages that's out, and they sell no, Ghostbusters.net. Like the
Okay.
Ghostbusters fans, there's a like the YouTube channel. Yeah, chat to my boy from Ghostbusters News. Go on Ghostbusters News when you're done with me and look up the t-shirts. He has like thousands of different types of Ghostbusters t-shirts. I
Oh my,
think he has Bassmasters
I
at the
need
warehouse.
Bassmasters. I have to get it. If that is possible. That is one of my favorite lines in that whole movie. Yeah, I know Bassmasters.
You could always
Well, I know
message him.
Bankman.
You
I
could always
should.
message Ghostbusters News on Instagram and say, "Hey, do you have a Bassmasters t-shirt?"
I didn't even realize, like, this is how I just live in my own little world. Like, I didn't realize that the fandoms have their own podcasts and I could be like watching Ghostbusters podcast. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, I live in my
Yeah,
own little bizarre world. I drive my sister crazy because she'll be like, why don't you Google stuff? And I'm like, I just love living in a fantasy land, not knowing. Like, I just literally don't know things.
yeah. It's so weird because like I could be wearing my green glasses and everybody says, "Oh, it's Ghostbuster Joe," and then I put on my red boys, my red boys. Hey girls, where are you at? My little my big reds, and everybody's like, "Joe Panther the third is here," so he's gonna talk to all his wrestlers.
Is
So
that what
like
you
I
wear
just
in
feel
your
like,
Tinder pictures, Joe? You're the red ones?
oh geez, just like this,
Oh
like
my,
same with a rose in my mouth, like this. Or
I've never
I
done
just feel
online
like this.
dating. I'm too scared. I'm too
Yeah,
scared to
just be
date,
like this.
period.
I think I'll get a lot of passes because I'll think I because my buddy Sabrina that does our other show, my other show, backstage melee. She's like, Joe, they're kind of thick, and I'm like, they're thick boys.
They're cool. I
They're
think
thick,
they're awesome. I think thick glasses look so
my Elton
cool.
Johns. They're like my
Yeah,
Elton
and with
Johns.
your mustache? No, it's a good look.
I gotta find somebody that'll be like, oh, Joe, I like your glasses, but I like you better.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's it.
but
You're
I
right,
had a
Joe.
lady actually tell me this within the disabled community. Joe, what if you met a girl and you're gonna stop doing the podcast?
Why?
I said that was the face I made at her. I was like, "No, she's gonna be join me or I'm leaving her."
Yeah, like,
Like,
what? I mean, that's the worst part. You don't want to ever date someone who makes you stop being you. Like that.
yeah,
That would
that's
be the worst
me.
thing. Yeah.
This is me. I do this. So have you ever have you checked out any of the other the new Ghostbusters the new movie that's coming out for this March?
You mean the one? Wait, is it going to be based on the one with like Egon's grandkids, like the one with Finn
Yes.
Wolfhard? That
Yes.
one, I did like that one. I don't want to be mean about the all women cast because I look,
Word.
I am pro. Obviously, I'm pro women. I want us to have our shot, but I didn't think it needed to be done. You know what I mean? That I as a Ghostbusters purist, I'm like, I don't think we need to do this. Do I think it cost Hillary the election? Maybe. I'm kidding. It came out at a bad time. It came out
Dum
at a
dum dum.
yeah, no. But I was honestly disappointed with a woman who I normally think is hilarious, Kate McKinnon. I didn't think she was really good in that movie.
They didn't give her the right thing. You know what I mean? She didn't get to do the right part. Like Afterlife was good. It was so sweet.
It was so
I watched
sweet.
it in the theater with my dad. I had to wear a mask because it was like still 2021, and we were scared about COVID, so we all wore masks in the theater. I cried so hard my mask was wet when I left the theater,
Aw.
and I was with my dad watching the movie. So that ending scene with Egon, oh, it got me.
Oh, I
Everybody's like,
know.
it's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. And I thought of all like the happy moments with Egon, his little smirk anytime his
I
smiles.
know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because he was like our unofficial nerd uncle. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
like he would bring you into the shed, or he would like, hey, I want to show you something that I was doing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He made being a nerd cool. Like, he was the
Oh my
first, like,
God,
it was like
yes,
Egon and then Donatello from the Ninja Turtles, you know what I mean? Like, it
yeah.
was like and that for some kids, like, we needed like, I love that. Like, I love nerd stuff. Like, that's
And
just me. I'd always choose.
Uncle Danny Aykroyd could go no
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, oh my god, love
It's
Dan Aykroyd. Love
like
Dan Aykroyd.
if I could ever have somebody that knows Dan Aykroyd to have him come on Ghost Head Nerd Talk for me, it would be my Rain's not with me right now. Rain, you're gonna love me even more. I have a female co-host on Ghost Head Nerd Talk.
That is awesome.
Yes, her name is Rain, and she's a boss bitch. I love Rain. That's my mama. Rain, hey baba. He's
That
like
is
my
so
best,
cool.
my best Ghostbuster. That's my girlfriend. That's my best friend. That's my bestie. That's my best girl, my ghosty friend. That's my
That
best
is
ghost
so
friend.
cool.
Yes,
How,
I
like,
met her
do you
doing an
have you
episode.
known her your whole life, or did you guys meet,
No,
like
I was doing the Ghost Head Nerd Talk. It was originally Ghost Head, and I was doing it 8 years ago. I started doing it because of 2016, and I just started doing it, and then I decided to bring in more with the new movie that was coming out, and a girl named Laura, she wanted to join me, so I said, "Join me." So I didn't do it like this. I just recorded me on the screen, and you could hear her in the background. The kids came out, so I told her we're gonna slow down. So we got news about the new movie. So I told her to come back, and she's like, "No, no, no, I don't want to do it." She didn't tell me. She just disappeared, ghosted me. So
no
all of
pun
a
intended.
sudden, what's that?
I said no pun intended
Yeah,
that she ghosted you.
and then I decided when my partner left me from Dudes from this podcast, I thought maybe I should start trying to StreamYard Ghost Head Talk, and then I started doing it on my own. And I had on the guy from Ghostbusters News. I had my buddy that does my art for me on my podcast under Ghost Head Talk under Joe Alphabet, which is a good guy. And then one day I asked Rain, "You want to be a guest?" And she's like, "Sure." And I had her on a guest. And the next episode, I messaged her and I said, "I'm really thinking about bringing." I felt a weird friend bond. I was like a team, even though we didn't work. We were talking and we'd let each other talk. And I saw her. She makes Ghostbusters equipment, like 3D printers. Yes, she's a
Oh,
real McCoy. You would love Rain.
she sounds like you're Egon.
She's a real McCoy. She makes Ghostbusters equipment. She she does roller derby.
Oh, cool.
She's a boss baby. Like
She's tough.
she's a boss girl. Protects me.
Yeah.
I need a girlfriend like that. She'll be
You need a
like,
girlfriend who could yeah.
yeah, she'd be like, she bumped into, she looked at me. I said to tell her no. Not, and then she brings her over with a black eye. What are you supposed to tell him? "I'm sorry for looking at you. I was just staring at the mannequin behind you."
Oh
You
my
punched a
gosh.
girl. You punched a 9-year-old in the eye for saying hi to me. No, no, Rain, bad Rain. But like, she came on, and it just felt like it's been like we haven't done another episode for this year yet, but I just feel so happy to have a woman like her in my life that keeps me going with Ghostbusters, and knowing that this is not Ghostbusters. Your ghost. She told me to change the name to Ghost Head Nerd Talk because she has a girlfriend, and her girlfriend wants to come on the show. So I was like, she's like, "I don't want to change the name, but maybe add nerd." And I was like, I had to sit on it for a while, and I'm the ADD. I'm disabled. So I had to, I'm a writer, so I had to write it down and then say it. I was like, because I say do the intro. So I had to go, Hey, you go cool busters and bustettes, and welcome to Ghost Head Nerd Talk. And I sat there by my microphone like I'm doing it, and I was just like, I had to record it twice, and I was like, welcome to Ghost Head Nerd Talk. And I kept pausing, and I'd stop it, and I'm like, welcome to Ghost Head Nerd Talk. Oh my god, that sounds so good.
It
And
does
now
actually.
it opens up, like Satellites opens up. Ghost Head Talk was just like this. Now it's like this. Because we added somebody that's in the horror community that comes on the pod came on the podcast.
That is so. I know a lot of
Scara,
people in the
which
horror
you love
community.
her. We had Scara. We had another girl before her. I'm gonna have him on again, a voice actor that's really good. He did the voice of Barney.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, oh god, it's so weird. He even does the voice of Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my
Charles
god.
Cheese.
That guy made me go like this. Oh my god, I'm late for work. At the end I'm gonna have to pull the polo out and show you. I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese when I was in high school for like a week.
Whoa. I used to have every birthday of mine at Chuck E. Cheese, so
I
mad
was
respect.
you could say I was Chucky's right hand man. I was Chuck E. Cheese.
You were Charles Cheeses?
That was me. That was
That is so
me.
cool. When I go with my godson to this day, I'm like, Charles, it's Charles Cheeses. And I like run over him, give him a big hug. I scare mascots, I think.
My fun story from Chuck E. Cheese before we go. I was doing the job, doing my gig. We were doing my stuff, dancing. This woman coming over. I thought to just take a picture with the kid, and I took a picture with the kid. She turned, she hugged me. She popped the mouth in, and I felt something fall down. And I'm like, I thought maybe she dropped the number or something in there. I got, excuse me. I ran to the back after the gig, took the overalls off, took the pants off, pulled the head off, and I see something fall, and I was like, ah. And I just ignored it and put everything away. Looked at the floor, $20.
Oh, she tipped you.
She dropped $20 in, and my sister's like, "You ready to go? What did you just pick up?" I'm like, "Nothing." I was like, "So you just got tipped $20, didn't you?"
Wow.
A mom told me that you were doing very good today. That's all she told me. And I'm just like, "Why? Are you jealous, or do you want lunch?" And she's like, "I want lunch, you freaking idiot. I want a pizza." I'm like, "Fine, I'll have pizza." Sassy, we love you. That was my other podcast. The other female that I have to live with that was born on the same day as me, my sister, Sassy Chica.
Are you a twin?
Yes, I'm a twin.
Oh my God. I love boy girl twins. That's like my dream. If I would like to be a mom, I was like, if I'm a mom, I just want to have boy girl twins.
The
That's
Twins
like,
at Ringside podcast with me and my sister. It
that is,
is a non-wrestling fan, which is her, and a total diehard independent wrestling last big missed. I count myself as I'm Mr. Old School. That's what I call myself on the podcast. I'm Mr. Old School. That's why I also have felt the bond with you, because you love the old school wrestling as much as I do, and you
yeah.
think you would I would say they deserve their flowers.
Oh my God, yes. I mean it when I say they're up there in my brain as a child, as much as Mr. Rogers, as much as Sesame Street. It is Hulk Hogan. It is all the guys we talked about. Like they are the beginning of my whole life.
Did you see
Like they
Iron
were
Claw yet? Before we go,
no.
ooh, you have to see that movie. Iron Claw is the family of the Von Erichs.
It looks so good, but so I've been having like issues going to the movies ever since COVID. I have so many. I literally have like 18 diagnoses, and I gotta get my
Oh,
crap together. I gotta get my crap together, but I get such like contaminate. I get two fears: contamination, and then I'm so afraid of crimes at the movies that I always have to wait till things come on streaming. I
yeah.
know
Well, when
I'm a
you see it, let
disaster.
me know, because I have
I'm a
watched it.
disaster, Joe.
Yes, let me know. Message me like, Joe, it was good. And you think everybody that I'm a big wrestling fan. My friends are all like, Joe, have you seen it yet? I'm like, no. Like, you're such the biggest old school wrestling fan. You've not seen it. We know you love for Terry. You love we know you love Terry Von Erich, Carrie Von Erich. And I'm like, I love Carrie, but I haven't seen the movie yet because I'm a podcaster and I have no life.
I wish we
AK,
lived in
watch
the
this.
same town.
I like, hey, watch this. You're gonna laugh. It's gonna be like this. Wait, watch the screen. I have no life.
Me
I sit in
either.
front of my computer all day long. So before we go, if my fans would like to follow you on social media, or if they want to pick up any of your stickers or anything of yours, how can they find it?
So, my website is just gabbenesso.com, and you can get linked to like all my social media there. Right now on my YouTube channel, which is just Gabbenesso TV, I actually have like a 50-minute performance of me doing stand up that covers a lot about my life. It talks about my, I tell some stories about my parents. I talk very openly about my mental health, but I like to think it's still really funny, and you get a really good idea of who I am as a person. And I have all kinds of crazy videos all over my YouTube channel. I really want to start putting more content there. And in May, I'm going to be releasing a comedy album, which I'm really excited about, that I recorded over the course of like 3 different shows. And I'm going to be all over the state of Pennsylvania this year too. I'm going to be definitely in Scranton the first weekend in May, hoping to get
Ooh.
back to Philly, Harrisburg, Williamsport, just try to get all over and visit my friends and spread the message of, you could have a disability and still be hilarious and have an interesting story to tell that a lot of people could relate to. So
Thank you so much, Gabby. I really appreciate it. Yeah, definitely go subscribe to her YouTube channel because that helps us both. Like, it helps her out a lot because most people would just see me and I'll say subscribe and they're like, yeah, just shut up. We know about your life. Stop being so needy. But yeah, go definitely give her a subscribe. Give the Joe Panther Variety Show a subscribe because without you, there will be no 8 years. This is the 8 year anniversary of Dudes at Ringside podcast. Like 4 years for dudes. Like like keep this antenna going because I know one day I'll probably be not doing podcasts and you'll be watching this in the future. So Gabby, thank you so much for helping me out with this dudes thing and help me celebrate the 8 years and the 4 years for dudes. I'm Joe Panther the third. Your turn.
oh, and I'm Gab Benesso, the
And
first.
we will catch you in the next one.